So I think we need to ask what constitutes a patient and are you willing to take a risk? I think a case legally could be made that if in this situation, say a nurse stopped to look after somebody who was involved in a car wreck, everybody says that they're okay and she drives away, but something bad happens, I think a case could be made for abandonment. How do you know that they're in a state of mind to refuse unless you talk to them, unless you do an assessment on them? How many head traumas have you seen that you're initially talking to them, they sound okay, but you start probing, you start asking more questions, or they start repeating the same sentences over and over again until you realize that they have head trauma? At my service, if we make contact with somebody who 911 was called for, they consider that a patient, and we have to get documentation on that, because that, if you didn't document it, it didn't happen. And looking at the damage of the car and how everybody seemed fine, is it likely that somebody has some type of head injury or some type of issue going on? Not very likely. But again, I'd rather just do the documentation or hand off in the correct way to make sure that nothing came back on me. Understand that probably the definition of what constitutes a patient and a patient contact may very well vary from state to state.